That was a great intro. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to AI 101, what it is, why it matters, and how to use it today. My name is Chris Desi. A little bit about myself and my background. I have been in tech for, I feel old, nearly 30 years at this point. I have an undergraduate degree in psychology, a master's degree in direct marketing. That's because my father was very intelligent and he told me that if I wanted to be a dot-com millionaire in the late 90s, that it was direct marketing on steroids. Um, I have a mission, and my mission in life right now is for you to leverage technology to generate more income. It's as simple as that. I've been around the block. I've been selling for many, many years. I've closed over $100 million in sales, software sales. I've delivered keynotes to thousands of executives in 17 different countries. I've built multiple businesses and sold multiple businesses. I've written 7 books. Most relevant for today is ChatGPT for Profit. I've been a TEDx speaker, which was one of the joys of my life. And I am also a daddy to 2 beautiful teenage girls. And I play guitar in a band called Bitten. Cool little side note. I do actually play those things that are behind me. So today we're going to have a 45-minute long meeting. And I had a 15-minute long meeting once with Gary Vaynerchuk, which I will talk about a little bit more. And that made him multiple millions of dollars. If you want the real skinny on that, we'll go a little deeper there. But what we're going to cover today is relatively simple. So we're going to identify the things that slow your business down as a small business owner. We're going to talk a little bit about Marketing 101. I know everybody wants to dive into AI, but before we do that, we need to have a discussion around appropriate marketing and sales and communications. Because if we don't understand that, we can't harness technology to amplify the things that we're doing. Because if you're doing it poorly, AI is just going to amplify all of the junk in, junk out. Then we're going to leave you with a little bit of a AI starter toolkit. I don't know what the level of everybody that's attending the webinar may be. So I've put together 3 scenarios that we're going to walk through so that we can hopefully touch on any and all questions that you all may have. And I'll say, welcome. Today is the first step in transforming your business with AI. So does this sound like any of you that you're using AI maybe for spell check, or maybe one of your colleagues is using AI? Maybe you're struggling to feel confident enough to leverage AI. Maybe it's intimidating for you. I don't know whether we can leverage in the chat or raise hands, but I'm sure that some of the points here probably sound like the attendees today. And I think I echo those frustrations. Everybody that I've been talking to have had some issues with AI at some point. So I approach you all today with reverence, and I want to be gentle with everybody and say, hey, if AI is intimidating and if you don't feel like an AI native, it's not your fault. You shouldn't. It's something that has happened very quickly. I have been selling technology, as I mentioned earlier, for many, many years, and I am learning. I am not an AI expert. I am a student of AI. I am pretty good at marketing, sales, and communications, and I'm really good at leveraging technologies to amplify the good things that I do in sales, marketing, and communications, from a back-end rev ops to front-end outreach, lead generation, et cetera. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. But I love this quote from Joseph Campbell. We must be willing to let go of the life we've planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us. So I know many of you may want to hold on to the manner with which we were marketing previously and selling previously. Sorry, don't shoot the messenger. Those days are over. So what is AI really? AI is a tool, yes, but I'm going to throw a little wrinkle in here. Obviously, you need to be asking the AI smart questions. You can't ask it silly questions. And we're going to talk about prompt engineering. And there's a bunch of leave behinds for everybody that's on the call, so you guys can copy and paste. You don't have to memorize anything. I have a whole framework for you. But when you're starting the AI journey, I need you to understand this and really allow this to absorb. So while AI is a tool, so is software. Software as a tool. And I've sold software for many, many years: email software, performance-based ad networks, third-party ad serving, social media software, Buddy Media, all kinds of software. But AI is different. AI agents are not just a tool. They're beyond a tool because they learn. Okay? I'm going to say it again. AI agents go beyond a tool because they learn. And that is critical. So we're not just leveraging AI as a tool, as we perhaps previously may have, if we were sending out emails, if we were doing any sort of, any sort of marketing. Really, you needed to leverage a, software or CRM like HubSpot or Salesforce, etc. But now AI agents can learn. You can educate AI agents about your business so it can communicate to your potential customers on your behalf. But that critical switch needs to flip. I hope you got that one. It learns. So why does that matter? Because AI is not coming. AI is here. It is surrounding all of us. If you live in a modern home, your refrigerator is listening to you, your Google is listening to you, your Alexa is listening to you. It is all AI, all surrounding, all encompassing us, our phones, etc. We know this. But how, as small business owners, can we harness that technology in order to have an impact? Because, as it says here, 91% of top companies are already using AI, according to McKinsey, which I find a little bit ironic because I think AI is probably going to kill all those consulting jobs. So I'm going to pause right there with that moment. And I'm going to beat you guys up a little bit. And I'm going to say that small business owners tend to be their own bottleneck. However, right now, July 28th, 2025, the summer of 2025, you all, as a small business owner, are experiencing a renaissance. And I'm going to tell you why. So that background, all of my experience, all of the nearly 30 years of selling technology, I did it for the big guys. I did it for the enterprise guys. My deals were all with large businesses, etc. And those large businesses had systems, they had funding, they had processes, they have all of the resources at their fingertips. And small and mid-sized business owners got crushed in some aspects of technology. And I know this. Many years ago, I ran a social media agency called Silverback Social. And I also started an event called the Westchester Digital Summit. And the reason why I did the event was to educate business owners like yourselves so that you could be in the room, understand social media, digital marketing, and then have that click and say, okay, I'm going to work with Chris and his team at Silverback Social. But this is different. These tools are now more accessible than ever for you. They're at your fingertips. They're relatively inexpensive. And the manner with which you leverage these tools is anchored solely in sweat equity. It's up to you. How much effort do you want to put into building and growing and scaling your small business so that it can become a mid-sized business? And you're part of my mission. I did all the stuff for the big guys for many, many years. I was on television 2 weeks ago saying this. You can all punch above your weight class now. You all have the resources now. You don't have any excuse. You can't say, it's 10 grand a month. You can implement a chatbot and a voice bot on your website for $99 a month. And I'll show you how. Let's get to it. So when we're looking at AI and how to implement AI for our small businesses, it's super simple. This is my simple formula. It takes 2 steps, 1 day, and 0 tech skill. And what are those 2 steps? Step 1, identify all of the bottlenecks in your business when it comes to sales and marketing and communications. Current business, actual business. What are those bottlenecks? What are the things that keep you up at night? What are the things that you say, boy, if I had the money, I would hire 5 people to attack that? List those things. Spend the morning in that 1 day with your team. If you are the team and you're a solopreneur, I have 2 whiteboards to my side over here. Grab a whiteboard. Start jotting down all of the things that slow you down, all of the administrative things that you're doing that take you hours, the things that you dread doing, down to the craziest thing that you could possibly think of. That's your step 1. Step 2, you look at them and we figure out how we can implement AI to fix them. That's where you start. Super simple, right? So when we're identifying those roadblocks, what are some of the roadblocks? You're probably writing content from scratch. Oh gosh, Chris, I haven't posted on my Facebook page or my Instagram in months. We had an intern last summer that did it every single day. And boy, was she fantastic. She was a communications major at the local university and she was great, but I'm busy running my business. Of course you are. Of course you are. Not doing this to reprimand anybody. I've been caught in that muck and mire myself. I've been an entrepreneur for many years now. You're repeating the same customer inquiries and answers. Maybe they walk into your brick and mortar and maybe you have it in a plaque on the wall what that answer might be, or you have to train new employees every summer if you have kids helping you out, or maybe you have one person that knows the ins and outs of the business and everybody goes to that one person and that one person becomes the bottleneck because they're hoarding information. I don't know what the situation is, but I'm probably somewhere near where some of the bottlenecks might be. And of course, you're a small business owner, and I really understand this one. You're doing it all yourself. And again, it ain't your fault. It's part of the deal. It's what comes with being a small business owner. You're the one, this is your heart and your soul. This is the extension of you. This is your dream. This is something that maybe it's a family owned business. Maybe, I don't know exactly what the scenario is, but I know for certain that you think that you could do it better than everybody. So what do? Get out of the way. Let me do it. I got it. I get it. And maybe you're feeling stuck and a little bit overwhelmed. I hope not too overwhelmed, but that might be why you're here today. So we're going to fix it with AI. So let's get to it. So after AI, these are the types of things that you could see. 80% more emails written by ChatGPT, auto-generated weekly social media posts, pre-built content, leave behinds, and lead magnets. Don't worry, I'm going to show you how to do all this. Blog ideas generated in minutes, AI-guided content planners. Wow, that sounds wonderful, right? So where do we start? Before we get into all of the nitty-gritty of the tech, and we will, we need to talk about the foundational elements of marketing. And this one frustrates me a little bit because I mentioned I have that master's degree in direct marketing because God bless my father. He told me that direct marketing was the internet on steroids, as I mentioned earlier. But many people, especially small business owners, think that marketing is one thing and they don't really understand the definition of marketing. So they get caught doing everything as opposed to finding the thing and going deep dive in the thing. And I know everybody's listening and they're going, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, Chris. So we're going to talk about this a little bit. So marketing is the ability to make somebody else take action. Click, book, buy, right? Taking action. That is it. You want somebody to take action. And when you're marketing, you need to get out of your own head. You need to stop selling the tactical aspects of the business. And as small business owners, we all fall prey to this because we've built it. We don't want to just sell the Ferrari. We built that thing with our bare hands. We spent years and years learning how to do it. We went in, we carved everything. We like the leather of the interior. We handmade everything. Great. Nobody cares. They want the outcome. They want the beautiful girl to notice them driving the Ferrari down the road. It's a difficult one, especially for small business owners. Enterprise businesses, they have a pretty good perspective on that because they're not as attached to it. There isn't as much emotion involved, but you need to keep that in the back of your head. Gang, we're going to get to the AI stuff. These are the foundational elements, I promise you. Attention. You need to use emotional hooks and no gimmicks. Audience. You need to deeply understand who you're marketing to. This is a critical one. I do think my father would bang on the table and he'd say, Christopher, what's the first thing that you do when you're marketing? And I said, I don't know. Oh, geez, I don't know. Tell everybody about the business. I don't know. Create a great direct mail piece. I don't know. Buy a billboard. That's advertising. Okay. The first thing that you do before anything when you're marketing is you need to research who your customer is. Now, You as the small business owner, you might understand that intrinsically. You may have built the business because of that customer to solve that customer's problem. Maybe you were the customer. That's why you started the small business. But if you don't start there and if you don't build out an avatar, name the avatar, Sue. She makes $120,000 a year. She lives in a suburban town in one of the three major urban areas on the East Coast. She drives XYZ car. She went to a great university. She studied English. If you don't understand every nit of who your specific customer is, your best customer, you're in trouble. None of this will work. You'll end up playing with Tinker Toys. You'll end up spreading the worst things about your business because you're going to leverage AI and it's going to amplify all of that junk. So before we go anywhere, we understand that marketing, taking action, we sell the outcome, we want people's attention. You need to understand the audience. Building trust through consistent high quality content, you've probably already done it, right? So you don't have to worry about that one. You want to evoke emotion. This, especially for small business owners, becomes icky. People get concerned about talking about themselves and Chris, I'm not comfortable doing that. Your story will do a couple of things. Your story will ring a gong for that ideal customer. Your story will evoke emotion. Do you understand how many multiple millions of dollars enterprise brands leverage to invoke emotion from a potential customer? It's all fake emotion, but you have the advantage of real emotion because this is your renaissance, right? Remember, small businesses right now leveraging AI can swing above their weight class. You now have access to all of that stuff. And clarity, be clear, don't be clever. When you have a couple of different options, shoot right down the middle. Go for Occam's razor, okay? So this is an example of AI. If you guys want to leverage this company, nobody pays me for this, but this is something that Delve AI created. I gave it access to Google Analytics for a client of mine, and it created Brady Kavanaugh. And Brady Kavanaugh is the best client for Stone Farm Living, which is a business that my best friend owns. And we created this avatar, and you notice how detailed it gets. Okay. So it's based off of the Google Analytics. There's a whole other layer, 25 years old, living in a semi-urban area, Gen Z, etc. That's where you start. You identify who that person is. If you want to leverage Delve AI, it'll help you create the avatar. You share the avatar internally, and you're already off to the races. Managing your reputation. This is something that is absolutely critical. We'll talk about it at the end, but it's what Torque AI does as well. So, Ernest Hemingway. What does Hemingway have to do with AI? So here's a quick website hack. If all of this turns you off and all of it scares the heck out of you, you can do this for website content. Small business owners fall prey to it all the time. You should never have more than 7 links in your top navigation of your website. You should be writing content at least an 8th grade reading level. You've been lied to. Your AP English professor lied to you. Stop using big words. Use small words. In fact, Hemingway wrote Old Man and the Sea at a 4th grade reading level. And I think it's the New York Times and Wall Street Journal are written at the 7th and 8th grade reading levels. Challenge yourself for simplicity. Simple is hard. Clarity is difficult. Take the time to do those things on your website and in your communication to that ideal customer, and you'll be absolutely set up to win. So let's get through those 3 core use cases so that we can give you some tactical things that you guys can use today with AI. It is AI 101 after all. So the 3 use cases that I created, and please do ask questions if I think we're going to wait till the end for questions, but we'll go through. So number 1, a non-tech solopreneur. Who wants to leverage AI to save time and generate ideas. So I encounter this a lot. I am a Gen Xer, and my peers, the vast majority, while they interact on social media when it comes to marketing, sales, and communications, complete newbies and feel like they're out of their depth when it comes to interacting with technology. So that's one case that we're going to go through. Number 2, owners with broken funnels and want to plug revenue leaks. So maybe you're an owner and you've had your business for 20 years and you have legacy systems. Maybe there is a legacy landing page and you don't know where the leads go. Track it down in HubSpot. I'm not sure where it is. Bob built that 2 years ago. Bob resigned and he started his own company, right? So that's another scenario. And we're going to walk you through that. Number 3, larger small businesses, teams with marketers, optimizing what's already or what may already be working. So we're going to go through that. So we're going to start with the non-tech entrepreneur. So if you are a non-tech entrepreneur and all of this scares the heck out of you, here are some layups that I want you to do. So you're going to leverage ChatGPT to write email replies, frequently asked questions, and bios of the individuals that work for your company. Now, when you are figuring out email replies, that is probably one of the more simple ways to leverage ChatGPT. It will improve your writing, but that's not really using it to the utmost. And we're going to get into a couple of hacks for other things just for then email writing. You can turn video content. Perhaps a couple of years ago, you filmed some video content, or perhaps you are telegenic and you're comfortable sitting in front of an iPhone, or you have an intern that can hold the iPhone up in front of you, or the intern or the executive that's helping you out this summer can actually sit in front of a camera, shooting long form video. Take that long form piece of content and put that into Opus Clip. Opus Clip will slice it and dice it. And you guys have seen this content on TikTok where they have the copy underneath and it highlights all those words. Super simple and super easy. All you have to do, upload the file, hit enter. You wait a few minutes and it chops it up. The AI will extract the content from your long form video and will create little digestible bits so that you can then post it on Instagram, on TikTok, on your Facebook feed, etc. So these are simple things. You can film yourself and go onto Opus Clip, upload it, and now you've got a whole repository of content, okay? No excuses for that one. Auto reply to reviews and DMs with trained chatbots. Getting a chatbot on your website, I feel, is the easiest and most critical first step when you're interacting with anybody in AI in a small business. And here's why. When somebody goes to your website, it's not just your website. That's you. That's your reputation. That's your brand. And what happens when somebody shows up and you don't answer the door? You're not home. You must be closed. Okay? So if you leverage AI to have a chatbot, at least at the minimum, $99, that is the first step. You can educate the chatbots. You can upload content. You could upload content for the past 20 years, PDFs, PowerPoints, your mission statement, etc., and put that into your chatbot. At minimum, hours. At minimum, services. At minimum, what are the different nuances, and maybe it's your pricing structure. Those are the minimum things. Now think about it. Somebody goes to your website, they can ask the chatbot those questions, and it can answer. The next level is to connect it to your calendar, and it can schedule meetings on your behalf. Gang, it's accessible, and it can do it. Creating lead magnets in 15 minutes using AI prompts. This is probably the easiest thing. A lead magnet, for those that don't know, is when you hit somebody's website and you request an email address, you're going to want to give them something in return, right? So the thing in return could be a PDF download. It could be a cheat sheet. It could be whatever. If you guys look in the handouts, I've got a cheat sheet for all of you. It's titled Torque AI Small Business Expo, and it's got all sorts of fun stuff. It's got prompt engineering where you can copy and paste, etc. That's a lead magnet. If you just go into ChatGPT and you say, act like an expert marketing consultant and scan my website, you can put your URL in and create a lead magnet for me. Now, there are other things that we could do when it comes to all the pain that somebody might be experiencing as a consumer. We're going to get to that for the other track. And those lead magnets can be even more impactful, but that's where you start. So those are layups for non-tech owners. And here's a great 6-step framework for ChatGPT prompting. This isn't a leave behind, so don't worry. You don't have to worry. You don't have to write this down. This is something that I came up with, and it's just prompt, the acronym. Position the AI. Tell it who to be. R, what's the role and the goal? What's the job? You're writing a 5-part email series to re-engage lapsed customers. That's critical. Who are the people that you did business with 10 years ago that you want to re-engage? O, outcome. Tell it what success looks like. We want 25 people to book a demo call. M, make it simple. Who's this for? It's a cold audience of women over 45 who hate jargon. P, provide context. Don't leave it guessing. Here's our last campaign. Here's a great post that crushed it. Maybe Susie from last summer wrote a great post on social media. You want to provide that to ChatGPT and say, this worked. Replicate that. And T, test it. This is key. Now you're going to give it, you say, give me 3 versions, one bold, one funny, and one straightforward. You train it, you tweak it, and you go from there. Again, that framework is in the leave behind, so don't worry about it. AI customer acquisition, predictive analytics, AI chatbots for lead capture, AI-powered content creation, and AI-powered insights. Those are critical. That's where I like to take clients, is to upload data and then ask it questions about the data. What are some seasonality trends that I'm missing? What time of year do people spend the most amount of money with me? These are really critical, really powerful marketing and sales questions that you could start to asking ChatGPT today. You can just upload it. All right. Number 2, second scenario, owner with broken or outdated systems. Fix broken funnels with AI. So you can use AI to detect where the leads drop off using heat maps. You can launch nurturing sequences. You can connect a chatbot to your booking system. Remember I said that's the next updated level, so that if you had to let somebody go and they were the BDR, now they're hitting that chatbot and they're connecting to the calendar. And you can auto generate full landing pages with tools like copy.ai or Torque, self-serving. But if you're creating those landing pages, all you have to do is just take the copy off of a current landing page, put that into ChatGPT and say, improve this for conversion. Act like a marketing expert. This is the goal. This is the customer. This is what success looks like when somebody reads through this landing page. It'll give it back to you, and you just copy and paste it and put it into that system. Number 3, small marketing teams. So you have a couple of people. What do those marketers do? You want to boost your output, right? You're going to build an internal GPT. And I have details in the next slide. I'm going to show you how to build your own GPT. I think this is absolutely critical. Please, everyone, pay attention. Create your small business GPT, a custom GPT that you can go back to and reference every single time, that you can make smarter and smarter as time goes on. You can use that as the repository for your chatbot on your website, but create a custom GPT. You can use AI to summarize analytics, as I mentioned earlier, uploading spreadsheets and looking for extrapolating data and predictive analytics, generate 10 A/B headline variations in seconds, and it can repurpose webinars into email sequences, blogs, and reels. Now, if you took that long form video from that first scenario, you put that into Opus Clip, you can then take that long form scenario, upload that into ChatGPT and say, write a blog post based on this video. Take that blog content, you could say, now create a blog series with links to the video. Now all of a sudden you're building a YouTube channel. Just need to understand where you're going with it. Sales emails, Zapier. Use Zapier. I use this to create customized sales emails where I upload a database through Google Sheets, and I tell the Zap what my goals are in the email. It will extract the data and put that custom content into the email. This is not spray and pray email. This is not spamming people. This is just customizing your content faster and better. So what's a custom GPT? It's your own personal AI assistant. It remembers your tone, your goals, and your tasks, and this is how you do it, okay? Now, again, everybody on the call, don't worry, don't freak out. This will be, the whole deck is in the leave behind. You can follow these instructions. So if you go to chat.openai.com, you just go to create, you name it, you tell it what it should do, you upload content, PDFs. Now you've got your custom GPT. The cool thing about this is that you could share it with your team internally or even externally. If you have an agency, you have a marketing consultant working with you, you could share that with them and say, hey, use the GPT. All of the content that you're creating, upload it to the GPT so that it can continuously get smarter and smarter on your behalf. Now, if you want to nest things and create a repository of all the stuff that you have on the side, create a project. This is how you create a project. Not going to waste time on that. We'll leave that as a leave behind. Okay. Bonus usage scenarios. If I did not hit a pain point in anything that I've spoken about just yet. Kind of be surprised. These are some bonus scenarios that I like to think about. How do you stress test your business using AI? Maybe you're concerned. Maybe business is kind of plateaued. Maybe it's dipping. I hope it's not. I really hope it's not. But maybe you just want to kick the tires and say, am I going down the right path? You can upload your content, create a GPT, and then ask ChatGPT, list 10 ways my business could break. Literally, that's straightforward. Then you could use Torque AI or Perplexity to analyze those reviews, customer feedback. So if you go on Google reviews and you've got years and years of reviews, copy and paste all those reviews, put it into ChatGPT and ask for themes. What are the frequently asked questions? What are some things that come up that why we haven't gotten 5 stars? What are some of the complaints that have come up? Once you get those complaints, you extract the complaints from that information and you say, write a blog post addressing this complaint. After you write the blog post, push it one step further and say, if that person were reading that blog post, name 5 frequently asked questions that may come up from that blog post. And then at the end of the post, what do? You put frequently asked questions, and then that will inform you. So if you say, Chris, I don't have time to do all of this stuff, that just took 30 seconds. And it literally operates that fast. So now you've got the FAQs, and guess what you have? Now you have a script and an outline for your next long form video. Hey, gang, I know these questions always pop up about our business. I'd like to address them. These are 5 things that people always ask me. Pop, 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 pop. Those are the answers. You put it into Opus Clip. It creates all these little slice and dices pieces of video. You put it out on TikTok. You put that out on Instagram. You put it out on Facebook. Voila. You're welcome. It took 15 minutes. Run an AI-powered competitor analysis. This is key. This is key. And now AI can crawl and can investigate, and you can have it look for businesses that look and feel just like yours. You can have it look at their websites and say, I'm building my YouTube community. And part of the way that I'm doing that is I'm identifying other experts and other thought leaders, people that are been on TV for 15 years and built businesses and doing all sorts of stuff that I've done and written books and wanting to help people's lives and change people's lives for the better. And you know what I do? I go to their YouTube channel and I learn from them. And then I look at the comments and I copy the comments. I paste the comments into ChatGPT and I say, what are the running themes of the comments? Is it good? Is it neutral? Is it bad? And then I say, what are some of the recurring questions? What are the gaps in this video? And guess what, gang? It gives me the gaps in the video where that thought leader may have not touched on in their video. And that informs me about the videos that I should make. Starting to see the pattern here. You're going beyond just asking ChatGPT to improve your emails, right? But first, we had to understand all of that marketing stuff. You had marketing too. You had to understand that you want them to take action, etc. I did a quick audit of a dentist recently. I wanted to talk to them, so I just did a Loom video, and I put this together. So these are super simple layup things, right? Adding a chatbot to their website, and you just train it on who's your team, what are your services, what are your hours. Using a voice bot to automate scheduling and basic Q&A. We have voice bots at Torque where it sounds pretty real, and they can schedule appointments. They could send an email, and they could send an SMS text as well. Hugely powerful, very, very cheap. Again, swinging above your weight class, gang. This is your renaissance. You can segment. You could set up daily content and referral sequences, and you could fix broken site flows like patient registration links, reducing the amount of information that those patients need to put into the content, and then you're off to the races. For those of you on the call that are aspiring entrepreneurs and you're just trying to stress test your idea, there's nothing better than AI right now. Absolutely nothing. And because you guys are listening to this, ahead of 99% of the world, I believe, in my opinion. Anybody I talk to that is outside of either running their own business or tech is just scared of AI, okay? So now if you want to start a new business, here's what you do. You validate your new business idea. How do you do that? Pick a real person in your life. Maybe it might be your husband, your wife, it might be your friend, your neighbor, and you think about a problem that they experience. Who complains to you the most, other than your mother-in-law? Who complains to you the most? Think about the things that they're complaining about, the things that give them a headache, that make them stay up at night. Once you understand those things and you go, oh, I could solve that problem, you use ChatGPT to list 10 costly, annoying, stressful problems associated to that person. Then you ask it to generate a before and after of a transformation. What do they look like before? What's that aspirational thing? Remember earlier on, we talked about real marketing, where you need to have a before and after. You need to have the results. You need to have that aspirational. They don't care about how you built the Ferrari, gang. They want to hear about the girlfriend they're going to get when they pull up in the Ferrari, right? You ask ChatGPT to do that about the business idea. Then you request 5 AI-powered products/service ideas that solve those problems fast. You choose one with high ROI, fast delivery, and low friction. You're welcome, small business owners. You've just launched another small business. It's a lot of fun. So this is a quick example of something that I built literally yesterday. I swear on my father. This was a conversation that came up with a few realtors that were clients of mine. And we were talking about like the basic marketing that I just walked you guys through, right? Where it's kind of AI 101. All right, we're going to do email sequencing. We're going to improve the website. We're going to have a blogging cadence. Maybe we're going to automate blogging. There's a company, it used to be Journalist AI. I think it's called Arvo right now, where you can automate blog content based on information that you input. You just click it, you set up the API, set it and forget it. Boom. It's just content generation on your website. We were discussing that. And I said, boy, you know what would be great? It'd be really interesting as a realtor to take all of your previous data from like 20 years and figure out the square footage of the homes, the age of the people that bought or sold those homes. And if you could, like, figure out what those reasons were, like, oh, kid was graduating high school, like with the age of the kids, and then put that data in, and then ask the AI, how many people in my database are matching the people that either listed a house with us or bought a house with us? And then that would inform you how to do your marketing. And it's literally what I built using Lovable. I'm not a coder, gang. Sales, marketing, communications. I spent yesterday building this app, turning your real estate data into marketing gold. Now it's in beta. I sent it to those realtors that I'm working with, and I said, hey, gang, tinker with this. But you can upload spreadsheets, and it extrapolates data, and it informs the realtors where they should spend money and the manner with which they should spend said money. Direct mail piece, email, phone call. Talk about the power of that, okay? So that is, you've just gotten access to a mastermind marketing consultant for whatever it cost me for Lovable. Not a lot, gang. Like maybe $20 a month for Lovable. And all it was me just writing and making it go back to the drawing board, because I knew in my mind what I wanted to accomplish. It goes back to that marketing 101 stuff. This is why I walked you through that. If you don't understand those marketing tenets, you're going to get into trouble and you're going to end up playing with Tinker Toys. But if you understand this, when you get to Lovable, you're going to know what to ask it. And you can create something like this of deep, deep value that you never would have had access to before. That's what I meant by swinging above your weight. I did the same thing because I've written a bunch of books. The ChatGPT for Profit book was after 3 years of me being chief revenue officer at a fintech in New York City. And we had a small team, 5 of us, for sales, inside sales, outside sales, communications, and marketing. So I had to swing above my weight class. So I immersed myself in technology and tried to figure out, where do I plug the holes using tech? And I used Synthesia for avatars. I created an avatar of myself, true story. And I used all sorts of technology in order to, we closed $32 million in sales, but it was all because I understood the intent and what I wanted people to accomplish. And then I filled in the gaps, but it was all at my fingertips. Okay, we're going to recap some things. I might tell a story or two, but here's the deal. You start with real people, not random tools. When you're talking about AI, don't think about AI. Think about basic marketing core principles. Think about your business. Think about the problems that you deal with. If you don't, you're going to end up playing with Tinker Toys and wasting a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of money. Then you use AI to speed up what already works. I think that's pretty exciting. And you could fix broken sales systems with automation. You could build fast, test fast, and optimize forever. So when you have ChatGPT writing those emails at its most basic level, hey, make this email better, you could see, how's this doing? The little trick that I use, I take, there's a PDF, Hypnotic Writing. It's a book. I upload that, and then I upload a couple of different things. I had another book. It's like how to write for the internet. And I uploaded all that into my custom GPT. And then I remind my custom GPT to reference that when it's creating content for me. Remember that there's psychology in the marketing hooks. Remember that there has to be a call to action. Remember that you have to evoke emotion. Remember that it has to be genuine. Base it off of all the real tactical stuff of my business. And then it's really fun. So folks, we are at 42 minutes, and I was told that I had 45 minutes to speak. I wanted to just articulate to you that this is my ecosystem. I'm the founder and CEO of Torque AI. I've been running it for about 1.5 years now. We are a software platform. We are a marketing agency. We handle everything marketing, but we have a slew of AI agents, chatbots, voice bots. Again, I said $99 a month, super cheap and available for small business owners. Torque Academy is where I have 90-day workshops. I've got 4 90-day workshops. Big business owners, people with full marketing teams, individual solopreneurs, the AI revenue engine. Then I have another one about executives over 40 reinventing themselves. I did write a book called There Is No Tomorrow about that. And then for individuals that want to just make money using AI, entrepreneurs. Those are the workshops. We have courses for everything. There's free downloadable stuff. Every one of my books is downloadable. The Audible book for ChatGPT for Profit is available there as well. I blog from ChristopherDessy.com. I also own the URL aisummit.nyc. I tried to pull that off last year. I couldn't. It was just me and my intern, Lysander. Shout out to Lysander, great kid. He's been interning for me for 3 years, but I couldn't pull it off. And I also own the URL smallbusinesssummit.ai. And I'm going to talk to the gang over here and see if we could partner up and get a small business summit for AI. So 3 closing secrets. I'm at 43 minutes. You're in control. It's your business. It's your life. When I was figuring out how to harness technology for myself, it clicked the first time I wrote a blog post. This was 2007. I was a director of sales. I wanted to be a vice president of sales. My wife was pregnant with our first child. I needed to make more money. I went to headhunters. They put me for interviews to be a director of sales. I said, no, gang, I want to be a vice president of sales. Didn't happen. I wrote a blog post about the fatal flaw of pay for performance because I was working for Performance-Based Ad Network and I wanted to interview at another performance-based ad network. I sent it to the hiring manager. That blog post got me the job offer. I call it my $260,000 blog post because that was the offer. I realized then, 2007, that I was in control. I had been blogging for a little bit before that, but that blog content, when I wanted to get into social media, I started blogging from the URL facebookshouldhireme.com. That got featured in Fortune magazine for creative ways to find a job. I used that in order to get a job at Buddy Media. And I introduced Gary Vaynerchuk to Mike Lazaro my first week at Buddy Media. Buddy Media was later acquired for close to $1 billion. And that's how my 15-minute meeting with Gary Vaynerchuk, he gave me 15 minutes. I went out to Wine Library back then. He said, Chris, I can't hire you. You make too much money. You live in Chappaqua. You got a mortgage. You got a baby. This was after the baby came. And he's like, I'm hiring my brother AJ and his buddies from BU, and we're barely paying them. I introduced him to Mike. Gary incubated VaynerMedia in our conference room downstairs. Gary made a lot of money from that introduction. I'm really good at connecting people and really good at leveraging that because I realized that I was in control. This is your destiny, your business, your life. You have to immerse yourself in all of this. I encourage you not to put it on an intern. It's your business. It's your responsibility. Because AI and technology is rocket fuel, you can take off or the Hindenburg, torch yourself. Final word. 1:45 at 45 minutes. In 2015, my father had been living with ALS Lou Gehrig's disease for about 6 years, and he wasn't doing well. I'd been spending a lot of time with him, and I was leaving, and he said, "Chris." I said, "Yeah, Dad." I turned around, and he said, "Keep up the good work." It's kind of like a weird comment. So I was like, "Okay, Dad, thanks." And I left, gave him a kiss, and I went home. Those turned out to be my father's last words to me. And I cherish those words. And I encourage all of you to keep up the good work. Owning and running a small business is really hard. And sometimes you can feel alone and isolated and like nobody gives a hoo-ha. I do. And I encourage you to encourage somebody else in your life and in your world today and keep up the good work. That's it, gang. If you scan that, you go to my YouTube channel. That's all I'm asking for you. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get all sorts of free content. I'll shut up now. Should we take questions? Let's see. What's the name? Delve AI. Yep, it's Delve AI. I think there's an E at the end of that, though. DELVE AI. And that's for the analytics on the back end. What all do we get for $99? Oh, for $99, it's you get a automated chatbot, and my team will implement the chatbot for you. All you have to do is provide some information and content, and you will have an educated chatbot and a voice bot, and we can connect that to your calendar. Told you it's really reasonable. How about legal stuff? Can you recommend an AI lawyer too? I can. I have a great lawyer. And that's going to get like the Wild West, even worse than that. Will this be recorded? Yes. Following for an AI attorney. I'll send the name. Thank you, Chris. That's very nice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Abraham. Thank you. Let's see. Is there a recording of the webinar? I believe the recording will come afterward. Oh, thank you. YAJ. Way above. I'll need to watch and listen again. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Wow. This is very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. I think that might be it, gang. I don't know whether, oh, there's Layla. All righty. I appreciate all of you. Keep up the good work, gang. Bye.
Thank you so much for that informative presentation. We really enjoyed it. As a reminder, this webinar was recorded and will be available on demand within 24 hours on smallbusinessuniversity.online. Please remember to frequently check out our webinar schedule on smallbusinessuniversity.online for other great weekly business building webinars. Thank you all for joining us and have a great rest of your day.